You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Nerdcast on the Angry Marks Podcast Network with your host, Will Huckabee and Mika Villas.
And welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again, Miss Crystal, for the awesome introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2018. This is the second podcast of the year. Once again, welcome to the Wrestling Nerdcast. I am your host, the AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, the AIWF Mega Heavyweight Champion, the IWA North Carolina Champion, and the World Wrestling Grand Prix Champion. I am the disrespectful intellectual, the Southern Gentleman, the Morning Star, the Mid-Atlantic Bully, the Incredible Huck, Will Huckabee. And as usual, I'm here with my co-host. She is the lover of waffles. She is the voice of the speech impediment. She is the adulator of affection, the abandonment of entertainment. She is one half of the world's cutest commentary team, which means you can catch her at any and all Atlanta wrestling entertainment shows and down there, Mucha Lucha Atlanta. And every once in a while, if you're lucky, you might catch her at another independent wrestling show. She is my co-host. She is the lover of waffles, like I said before. My homie, Mrs. Hashtag What That Mouth Do, Mika Villas. What's going on, girl?
How is it possible that I like you and hate you all at the same time? I don't understand. Like,
it's part of my charm, you know.
Your charm is like a snake. It's like, ooh, pretty, till he bites you and you need the poison sucked out, and not in a good way.
Watch yourself. Trying to blow our ratings already? As usual, ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you by our sponsors, Indie Customs. Be sure to follow them on Facebook, Indie Customs. Follow them on Twitter at Indie Customs. Also, huge shout out to our friends at Pro Wrestling World. Check them out on Facebook for all of like your cool wrestling news. Be sure to give them a like as well. Oh, and if you haven't by now, you should definitely go on our YouTube page, look for the Wrestling Nerdcast, check out an interview that me and Mika did with UIW heavyweight champion Adrian Armour. Check it out. Actually had like a special guest, a run-in, as you will, with former guest and friend of the show, Murder One. So be sure to check that out. Like the video, subscribe, help us out. Anyway, Mika, how was your weekend? I kind of know how your weekend went, but tell our fans and listeners.
You remember how my weekend went? Because Lord knows I don't remember how my weekend went. What the hell did I do this weekend? I think I was sober, but, who knows? Actually, it was pretty good. I had 5 days off in a row from work. So you know what that means. Lots and lots of shenanigans, wrestling-related shenanigans. I went to a couple of different shows. I went to a new show for me, APW, Alternative Pro Wrestling, in Royston, Georgia. I checked that show out. It was pretty interesting, pretty cool. I liked the venue. It was, I want to say an old armory or something, but they had old posters, old wrestling posters. I saw, like literally truly vintage posters that had like, oh my God, give me somebody Southern I can't think right now.
Kate Quick.
No.
Ron the Truth Quillings.
Gosh. I'm talking like, okay, let's not talk. Okay, anyway, vintage posters on the wall. Nice show. It was cold outside, but the crowd was trying to keep it hot. Saw some new talent, saw some older talent there. So I might make the trip back out there to APW Royston. I don't know what else I did. I really, truly don't remember. I, of course, was at WWA 4 for their show. Checked it out on a Thursday night. The best and brightest there under the tutelage of AR Fox. Those kids put on a show every Thursday, free show. You cannot beat the price. And honestly and truly, the action is phenomenal. So that was great. And Lord help me. Either I'm getting old or I'm drinking way too much at these shows. And let's not say that I'm drinking too much because I want people to continue to buy me alcohol while I'm out and about. So we'll just call it older. I don't know. I can't think. You I kept in contact with you. You're like my phone a friend if I get too crazy. So you know all about what I do, which is another scary thing in itself.
Well, yeah. I'm like your accountability partner on the weekends. But no, it was at UIW.
Oh yeah.
Had a great show. Had a great match with Simon Sermon. I really enjoyed it, except for the fact that he tried to take my cookies. Other than that, like Simon Sermon's a genius. I love Simon Sermon because he knows who he is as a person. He knows who he is as a person, who is as a wrestling personality. So my recommendation is anybody, Simon Sermon, who actually agreed to be like on the show in the upcoming future and stuff. But if none of our fans and listeners know who Simon Sermon is, like, I'm gonna give you a brief synopsis. He was like, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mika, he was like the first openly gay professional wrestler, especially here in the United States. You can now catch him on like this court TV show and stuff. But we're gonna hear about all of that when he actually comes onto the show. But what'd you think about my match, Mika?
Your match was very, very. You want to talk about a contrast of styles? Here you are, this huge, hulking, pun intended, individual who's just the epitome of masculinity. I put you over. Oh God, I must be drunk. Versus Simon Sermon. Simon comes out and he is extremely, from the get-go, from the look of him, flamboyant. I'm talking about he had the glitter lipstick that I had to stop him after the show and go, how the hell, where'd you get that glitter lipstick from? Because it was wondrous. Glitter lipstick, eyeliner, makeup, the full nine. He had on this, I think his outfit was pink that night with kind of garters and just clearly the opposite of you. And for that crowd, this is a Southern crowd. This was a show, fan appreciation night. UIW had a great turnout. And this is Deep South. This is Deep South in Georgia. To watch that man come out in his glittery lipstick and makeup and have that crowd in the palm of his hand was a magic trick I was not expecting.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was really jealous of his entrance music. Like, I was super jealous. I was like, man. And not only that, but like they blasted his entrance music and then I could barely hear mine. Like mine was really, really low, but his was like full on blast. And for all of you listeners and fans, like just some highlights of the matches. A, he grabbed my butt several times. B, some old lady in the crowd actually pulled her teeth out and like offered them to me. Like I made a joke about her not having a bunch of teeth left, and she was like, "Here," I was like, "I'll knock all of her teeth out," and she's like, "Here, you don't gotta knock them out, you can just have them." And she pulls her teeth out like top and bottom, just like bam. I'm just like, the most unhygienical thing I've ever seen in a show.
But it was funny. It was funny, and it was hilarious, and it was appropriate. Simon grabbing your butt several times, and also other body parts he seemed to be after. Again, for that crowd, I would expect them to be on your side. That crowd was fully behind Simon. I myself was behind Simon just because I like seeing you run like a little girl. It was pretty awesome. So
not funny. Speaking of not funny, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new segment for the show tonight. Because as we know, Mika Villas, she likes to talk. She likes to talk so much that we decided to give her her own little part of the show so she can talk about anything and everything that's inside the mind of Mika Villas. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, Mika. Should we call it like Mika's Corner? Or I don't know. It has to be, I guess it has to start with like a double M, like Mika's Magnificent Mind, or inside the mind of magnificent Mika Villas. There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, we are going to go inside the mind, or inside the magnificent mind of Mika Villas.
Oh my gosh. Like, okay, so I didn't know we were going to run into my head because there's a lot of stuff in my head, but I'll tell you about a lot of stuff that I just came across on Twitter that just, things that interest me, things that were, kind of standing out in the independent wrestling news world, so to speak. One thing that just kind of made me laugh and chuckle, but kind of gave me pause, was the fact that Hurricane Helms and Mia Khalifa, or whatever this chick's name is, there's still kind of a story, a beef there, so to speak. So if you don't know who Hurricane is, stand back. And how dare you not know who the best cruiserweight champion ever was. Sorry, anybody who's about to or holding the belt right now. But Mia Khalifa is a porn star who is now doing, I don't know, sports analyst or something. I don't know. She likes putting mics by her mouth and she talks. I don't know. Anyway, she called wrestling fake, and Hurricane Helms kind of said, hey, we put our bodies on the line and so does she. Basically he called her a whore in the nicest way possible. Well, Mia Khalifa got invited to a show. Sabotage Pro Wrestling is putting on a show January 19th in Texas, and Thunder Rosa, who plays Cobra Moon on Lucha Underground, invited Mia to come and see that wrestling is not fake, to see something outside of the WWE. Well, Hurricane Helms got on Twitter and he said, didn't I already body this chick? Why is she still a thing? And why would some indie talent try to use her to, get ahead and put themselves over? So, Thunder Rosa, again, Cobra Moon, Lucha Underground, she's more than just some indie talent. She's on a, worldwide television program that's in, syndication or whatever. So they kind of went back and forth on Twitter, but apparently this porn star, sports analyst, mic holder will be at wrestling on January 19th in Texas. The hope for me and all of our wrestling fans, I'm sure, is that somebody just puts her on her ass. And I don't mean backstage in a locker room. I mean, like, literally knocks her on her ass. But, sorry. Moving on to just something that kind of put somebody on their ass, or at least gave pause. There's a little unsettlement in the wrestling world. CWF Mid-Atlantic has parted ways with a figure there currently who was their booker. And I'm not going to get into all the details because there's lots of rumors and innuendos swirling around. But pretty much right now, PWI insider Mike, whatever his name is, y'all know who I'm talking about here. He reported that Brad Stutz is parted ways with CWF. That also has opened up the doors for a lot of other places to say he's not with us. He's not on our bus, y'all. CWF Mid-Atlantic put out a statement. Nova Pro has removed him and said that he's not playing with them anymore, as well as Modern Vintage Wrestling. MVW is owned, operated by a gentleman named Charlie Armstrong, and that guy from PWI, he reported that Charlie and Stutzy were kind of in this whole inappropriate behavior deal together. But the problem with that is not so much the inappropriate behavior, it's about the reporting of the issue. When PWI insider Mike Yaya went and reported this on his Twitter, he tagged the wrong person. He didn't tag Charlie Armstrong, he tagged Chip Day.
Which blew my mind, for the record.
Yes. So Chip Day, the Kennesaw Kick Machine, the current reigning Georgia Wrestling Crown champion, has been fending off these allegations of things that he didn't do inappropriately all for the past 24 hours or so.
Well, hold on, because the dude at PWI Insider actually made a retraction and said that it was not Chip Day, that it was Charlie Armstrong. So let's go ahead and give the guy his credit for realizing he made a mistake.
I was going to give him his credit, but also understand that when monkeys see, monkey do, guys. Be careful out there, because with him being such a leader in the sports entertainment, wrestling world, giving a lot of news, a lot of people picked up on that story and did not retract until much, much later that it was not Chip Day out there doing inappropriate things. This is not the first time Chip Day's name has been out there controversial for doing something that he didn't do. So again, Chip Day is a good guy, y'all. Please stop.
I don't know why they always pick on Chip. I don't know. I guess it's because Chip Day is such an easy name to remember.
I apparently they've never been kicked by Chip, but when you trigger this kid, I'm just saying, I don't want to see him kick people's ass for real, but it looks like it's going to have to come to that point. So hopefully people,
I will say about the situation and stuff, because I live in North Carolina. I made my bones, whatever you want to call it, in North Carolina indie wrestling. And CWF Mid-Atlantic is what I like to consider one of the big three in North Carolina. There's PWX, there's AML, and then there's CWF Mid-Atlantic. And a lot of guys that you see on WWE, on TNA, on Lucha Underground and PWG, and all of these bigger super indie companies and stuff, they all either started at CWF Mid-Atlantic or, they performed there in some kind of way. Cedric Alexander, Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett. The list goes on and on. Tessa Blanchard. The list goes on and on of great wrestlers from North Carolina. Oh, the Revival also wrestled.
Yeah, Caleb Conley. So kudos for CWF, in my opinion, for trying to make sure that, they kind of separate themselves. I try to keep it positive on this podcast. So no matter what the allegations are, whether they're true or not, in my opinion, I don't know how you feel, Mika. I wish the best of luck to Stutzy because he was a very influential guy, in the North Carolina wrestling scene and stuff. And so, contrary to what a lot of people say, his presence on the North Carolina indie scene is definitely going to be missed. That's the same as, no lie, that's the same as if, Bill Behrens, something happened to Bill Behrens, could no longer be involved with professional wrestling in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it is in my opinion. Again, it's sad when there is any sort of black mark put against wrestling, any sort of doubt or allegations put against anybody who's in this business, because the guys and girls, you guys do so much. You are out there so hard hustling. And when you have something that comes to light that is so negative, it pulls away from all the positive that anybody's doing. So true, not true, it's a good thing for everybody to just kind of get it out there and move on, because there's a lot more work to be done. Speaking of work to be done, my last thing that's on my mind that I'm really excited about, Impact. Impact Wrestling is doing a little tapings right now, and there might be an undead bloody bride showing up at the Impact tapings this week, guys. So
say it ain't so.
Sue it ain't so. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll have to stay tuned to Impact to find out.
Maybe it ain't Sue. With that being said, stay positive, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great guest for you tonight, and we'll do all the introduction and stuff right after these messages. Indie Custom sponsored athlete Amber Young works with her local YMCA and A Place to Dream, building beds for children in low-income families.
A Place to Dream is a program that the Family YMCA of Greater Augusta is doing. The CSRA has many wonderful social services agencies helping low-income families obtain housing, but few help these families turn their housing into functional homes.
Consequently, residents are forced to sleep on the floor, air mattresses, sofas are crowded into a bed with other family members. Recent studies link poor sleep with cognitive, physical, and even behavioral health issues. People who do not get enough quality sleep have poor concentration, weaker immune systems, and an increased risk of obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease.
Research has found that children with proper bedding sleep an average of 20 minutes more each night than children who have unfavorable sleeping arrangements. That's more than 2 hours per week. The Family YMCA staff and volunteers are going into these low-income housing authorities and building the beds, making the beds, and just getting to know the families, all for the children. We currently have done 3 different days and delivered over 120 plus beds for the children.
Please remember, shirts are only $20 and all proceeds will go to A Place to Dream. Make sure to send your payments to www.paypal.me/indiecustoms and remember to include your sizes and your addresses plus $3 for shipping. And thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with tonight's guest. His list of accomplishments, his list of titles, just his list, period, is phenomenal. I'm going to try to hit the high spots, ladies and gentlemen, because when I first met this guy 5-6 years ago, completely and totally amazing. He is the former Anarchy Tag Team Champion, former Evolve Tag Team Champion, the former FIP, that's Full Impact Pro for those of y'all who don't know, Heavyweight Champion, Peach State Wrestling Alliance No Limits Champion, and last year he beat me in rankings for the Pro Wrestling Illustrated PWI Top 500. He is also the self-proclaimed master of Connect 4. He is the resurrector of wrestling. He is Lord Ambient. He is bona fide Fred Yehi. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? You doing all right?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Did I get all the highlights?
I'll leave you cover them all. Cover them all pretty much. Oh, Big Trouble. Yeah, we got about Big Trouble. 5X.
Yo,
yeah.
I wasn't even going to mention the fact that that you may be the winner of Savage Moment of the Year.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. That's just mean. That's so mean.
Mika has an issue with that. We'll get to that later. But before we even talk about the savagery and stuff and your great wrestling career, and you haven't been in the business very long, let's talk about this whole Connect Four thing, man. I got to jump into it because that's what I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? What's your Connect Four record?
Oh, man. Sometimes you win so many, you just start to lose count. But the only thing I keep count on now is just the years that I've gone undefeated. And so far, it's been about 15 years now. So I have not lost the Connect Four game in 15 years. So the streak continues. The run up, done up series continues. I am the connector taker. That is my legacy. It will continue throughout. And, many people claim I'm going to be your Brock Lesnar. No, I'm not going to have a Brock Lesnar. No, I'm the connector taker.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I play Connect Four with my daughter and stuff, man. And I ain't saying I'm vicious, but my daughter's pretty ill. My 11-year-old's pretty ill at Connect Four, so I'm gonna have to make sure my daughter run up on you one of these days at the indie show with her own little personal Connect Four. Because I've heard rumors that that you ain't playing with a up and up deck. You know what I'm saying? That you might have like some laced Connect Four pieces.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations like this where someone either says that, hey, I'm going to beat you, or they say they know someone who's going to beat you, whether it's, wife, husband, daughter, son, whoever. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had, and it always ends the same way.
You got a rule also, don't you, that once you beat somebody, there's only one game. They're only allowed one chance. And it's like, what, one chance a year?
One chance a year. So have a lineup, a list of people. That's a long list of people who are, who claim they're waiting their turn. And, they had to wait patiently. And so I'm going to take them out as well as put some others on the list for next year. So that's that's the draw. So, yeah.
All right, so let's be more serious and stuff because you haven't really been wrestling that long. Like, I remember I first met you, I want to say about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, down in Georgia, Platinum Championship Wrestling, with Stephen Platinum and Shane Marks, and Jay and stuff. And like you already had talent. You was an accomplished amateur wrestler and stuff. Did you see, yourself at the point that you're at now 5 years ago?
Actually, yes. I mean, I couldn't really pinpoint the path that I would take, but even before I got into, the professional wrestling, it's always been something that I would, I would daydream about it. It's something that I really, really, wanted to do. It was a matter of just doing it. So I did see myself, attaining a high level of success. I mean, in this year, where I am now, this is not, there's still so much more that I want to go after. I want to make, have an amazing, successful career. I still want to go over to the UK. I still want to go over to Japan. I want to, wrestle on the biggest stage. WrestleMania. I want to do all those things. So I could see myself, being successful, but I couldn't, exactly pinpoint the path that I would take.
Well, speaking of pinpointing paths and stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to my tag partner, my co-host Mika Villas. I know she's chomping at the bit to speak to you right now. She lives in Georgia just like you do and stuff, and I'm pretty sure she's seen you on some shows. So, Mika, what do you have for our guest tonight?
I have to go right into it. I was there. I was in the audience. I was filming New Year's Day, and you did the dirtiest thing I've ever seen a man do. And I've seen dudes do a lot of dirty stuff before. What? Okay, so if nobody's seen it, go online. Media Takeout has it. But during this match, you whip out this box. Tell me what your mindset was. How can you sleep at night doing that? That's what I want to know.
Oh, there were so many thoughts going through my head, when I did it. So many thoughts. I knew it was wrong. And
but you did it anyway.
I knew how everyone was going to react. And then I knew that after the fact, I was going to have to come up with something 10 times, 10 times better than just generic proposal. I knew I would have to come with my A++++ game, for the day that I actually, do propose. So, yeah. So it was a pretty uneasy feeling, honestly. It was a pretty uneasy feeling, to be real. So, yeah, but I do know that, hey, now when I actually propose, the odds is going to have to be 10 times better. I'm going to have to really give it some thought. So.
You're going to have to propose to her. I hope she says yes. And then you're going to have to, propose to the wrestling world to forgive you. At least the girls, because some of the boys, too, because there were some angry dudes like, man, how could he do that? That was cool.
Yeah,
how could he do that?
There were grown men in the crowd who were crying, apparently. And I did not go up to the lobby after that. I waited till, most of the crowd was gone. And, then, made my way out to the car. But, yeah, there were some pretty hostile people out there. It was crazy.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to butt in for a second because, Fred, I thought it was genius. I died laughing when I saw it. You know what I'm saying? Mika was talking bad about you, though. You know what I'm saying?
I was.
Last week, she was talking bad about you last show, and I was like, all the bad stuff you said about Fred, you better say on the show.
I just said it. I told you, after I was one of the people who stuck around after the show. When I saw him, I couldn't even speak to him. I was still angry. This is me, who I'm never angry. I just had to give him the finger wag of shame, like, how dare you, sir? How dare you? That was evil. Listen, I don't know how you got home, but I know if I was her, you'd have walked home the whole way. I'm sorry. There's no way in hell your stuff would have been on the couch for a week at least. You'd still be sleeping on the couch right now. I'm just saying.
Oh, Lord.
For every box that I saw, I'd have been like, damn you, Fred. I'm just saying, as a female, I'm telling you, if you didn't know you were wrong, you were wrong. I mean, you're an awesome wrestler. It was cool. It was a great match. I mean, you didn't hold back, which I appreciated, and I'm sure people in attendance appreciate it. Outside of the, pulling out the ring and doing that, was that your guys' first match together? Or against one another?
It was our first match in front of an actual crowd. We did have a match at a Beyond taping years ago. It was back in 2014. I don't really even count that match, honestly. I don't really count it because at the time Oz was only a few months in. But I would like to call the one that we just had New Year's, the first match we ever had, our first encounter in the singles. So
yeah, it was awesome. You were dominating that match, and I was like, holy crap! And then the whole ring thing happened, and I lost. So outside of swerving us there, and perhaps going on, I heard you say you want to go overseas. What do you want to do stateside that you have not got a chance to do yet? Because you're sort of everywhere. You're here in Georgia. You're all in the WWN Live Network, and I see you so many places. Where else do you want to conquer here in the States that you said, hey, you know what, this would be a good fit for me?
In the States, I would like to get over to, I would like to get out west. PWG, that's one place. I would like to get out to AIW. I'm trying to remember where AIW is exactly, but I know that's another it's another hotbed.
I want to say it's like Michigan or Minnesota. No, it's Ohio. Isn't it?
AIW.
Yeah, Ohio.
Absolute Intense Wrestling is in Ohio. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to get out to Absolutely Intense Wrestling. I would like to get back to AAW and do more work there. So those are it was the three main places. I wouldn't mind seeing some work within Ring of Honor at some point. Of course, WWE, that's something else that I would love to do. But, before that, really just getting overseas to, places like Rev Pro and Progress, or just getting over to the UK in general, over to WXW, places like that. And of course, Japan would be awesome. So, it's just different places I would like to, venture out to first, just for that experience and meeting new people and, being in an environment where, hey, the skill level is just at a whole different level. So, yeah.
Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wrestling Nerdcast with your hosts, Will Huckabee and Mika Phyllis, brought to you by Indie Customs. We're talking tonight with independent standout Fred Yehi. Fred, you just mentioned you want to go to WWE and stuff, and earlier last year, we saw, you in the Cruiserweight, the WWE's Cruiserweight Classic, in a qualifying match and stuff. So we already know that you're on WWE's radar, and we've already heard rumors that, you might be signing the contract pretty soon. Any response to that?
Nothing at the moment. I did see the rumors, and I mean, there's a lot of rumors and speculation, so it's stuff that I can't really speak on. Like, I don't really have any knowledge as far as, like, what's going on with it. So, to me, like, hey, rumors get out. I've seen it happen with several guys, and just like what those other guys have done, they ride the waves of that. They continue doing what they're doing. They continue on pushing, and that's just what I'm doing. I'm going to continue pushing and just continue doing what I'm doing. And then, hopefully, like, the things that, the desires in my heart will come to fruition. So, that's pretty much that.
Man, I'm so glad you said that, because professional wrestling at times can be such a cutthroat business, and really, let's just be honest, the majority of people that's involved in professional wrestling are a bunch of assholes and shady individuals, and you are always positive. I've never ever heard anybody say anything bad about Fred Yehi, whether it was your work rate, whether it was your physique, whether it was your attitude. Like, nobody ever has anything bad to say about Fred Yehi. How do you consistently stay so positive and so upbeat, and even when you're in the middle of a match, man, you still have brief moments where you smile because you're just enjoying yourself? How do you stay so positive in a business full of shady, conniving people?
I really appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I mean, there's no like step A, step B plan. Like, I am a Christian, like, so I really try to walk that out. And, just in general, like, just, my upbringing, I was brought up with, just with, respect, just respecting people. And, just treat people the way you want to be treated. I don't have a reason to be uptight around anyone. Like, so I don't mind smiling. Like, I don't mind smiling. Like, I like to have a good time. I like to enjoy myself. I like to laugh. But, but I just treat people the way that, that I want to be treated. But there's no secret formula to it. I'm just being, just who I am. I'm just being just who I am. And, a lot of that is just, who God is molding me to be, as I continue to, walk it out. And no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. Everyone has things that they deal with. Everyone has them, so I'm no exception. Like, I still have things that I have to overcome, things that, people may not even know about unless I were to talk to you about it. But yeah, other than that, in general, like, within this business, I know there are some people in the business who are good people. And I do know people in the business who aren't the most likable, but, I still treat people the way that I would like to be treated regardless. And, I don't try to dabble too much into drama. I try to stay away from all the gossiping and watch what I say. But,
well, I'll tell you what, man. Look, I'm going to tell you, talk about dabbling and gossiping, bro. I've seen on social media stuff, your workouts. And, like, I pride myself, even though I'm a fat kid, I got a couple of extra pounds around the waistline, I'm in really good shape. Like, I've worked out with Joe Black and Cedric and all these other guys. Your workout is crazy. That, for lack of a better phrase, like, just ridiculous. The things that you do for the workout on a regular basis. Is that just, like, how do you design your workouts?
A lot of times, like, I go in and I just feel it. Like, I think about, like, cause I wrestled in high school, wrestled in college. And then, of course, like, doing the wrestling thing now, I think about, what I do in the ring. I think about all those things. I think about, hey, if I do X amount of reps of this, or I do this many things here, I know I'm going to feel blown up. So at this point, I can do, a few of these or more of these or whatnot. When I reach that point of feeling like, oh, I just can't go anymore, I can throw these in. So I take all those things into account, and, I go off of that. As of late, I've been doing, like, more of, like, a split training for the first time, since I talked to, a few of the guys in the business who have, like, gone that route as far as the bodybuilding, so I'm doing split training now, which is also really, really challenging. So, I mean, it just, it all depends. And of course, I always, I do my research too. I look up different workouts and I wing it, on my own. Yeah, that's pretty much what Fred Yehi does. Like, that's pretty much what I do.
So, let's say a couple years down the line, are we going to see, like, the Fred Yehi workout plan?
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. What Fred Yehi needs to work on is the diet, is the dieting. I know, like, one thing I'm guilty of is, like, not eating enough. So I know that's one thing I'm really, really guilty of. I know, like, in some ways, like, I set myself behind on that. Like, I know that, hey, you know, my physique would be a lot better if I dieted more, if I just ate more. So I know that's one thing that I do need to work on, you know, is a sound, well-rounded diet plan, to, you know, complement the working out, the workouts and stuff that I do.
Now, you said Fred, the D word. Wait a minute. Oh. You said the D word, the diet word. So I have to go and counteract that just a little bit. What's your cheat food? What is that guilty pleasure food that Fred has? Like, I know Asha likes pineapple pizza. What is your deal?
Oh my gosh. Oh, my guilty pleasure is, man, I love cake. I love cake. But I've gotten a lot better with it. Like, I've gotten so much better with it, because once upon a time, like, if I saw cake, if I saw, like, really any kind of pastry, like, especially those chocolate chip brownies at the gas station, like, I just couldn't resist it. I just had to take one. But now I've gotten to the point over the past year, that I won't just eat just any cake. Like, I won't just eat the cakes at the gas station or just a random slice of cake somewhere. Like, I have to go out to, like, the Marietta Diner or, like, the Cheesecake Factory, you know, to get a nice slice of cake. Or Asha's sister, who is a phenomenal cook. She has to bake a cake. And I'm plugging her on the podcast. She's amazing. She has to bake a cake for me to eat a slice of cake. So, like, now I've gotten so much better, you know, with it. But that's, like, you know, like, that's, I guess you say that's, like, you know, the kryptonite of my diet, aside from just not eating enough.
Well, I'm gonna remember that if I ever end up in a match with Fred Yehi, I'm gonna pull out a slice of Cheesecake Factory cake and be like, "Hey, take that 10 count, and you can have this cake." Like, so Fred, I know that, you know, you're a very busy man, and our time with you is running short. So, go ahead and let all of our fans and listeners and stuff know where they can catch you at in the upcoming weeks and how they can keep in contact with you on social media.
All right, most definitely. Let's see, you can catch me this weekend at Evolve 98.99. I'll be in Queens, New York, and New York City, I believe. I believe that's where the second show is supposed to be. I think Brooklyn, maybe. I don't know. You can catch me this weekend on the WN Live Network. Also catch me, watch my VHW channel on YouTube, VHW Wrestling. You can catch, like, videos on that. Every week we pretty much upload. Follow my Twitter at Fred Yehi. Also Facebook, Fred Yehi. I have a hate page and a like page. I have a I hate Fred Yehi hate page.
What?
It's real. So I have two. Also, those are pretty much my plugs.
Well, look, I'm gonna go ahead, you say, to try to help you get out of the doghouse. We're gonna also plug your significant other, the Lois Lane to your Superman, Super Aja. You know what I'm saying? One half of Team Spam with a friend of the show, Ariel Monroe, doing huge, big things and stuff down there at Sean and the entire WWE Network as well. So, shouts out to Super Aja. You know what I'm saying? I love the outfit. Tell her I said hello.
Oh, she's right here, right next to me.
Hi. Hi. I have pineapple pizza for dinner today. Girl power.
Oh,
shit. Yeah, she can.
Well, Fred, once again, thank you for being the guest on the show, man. We hope to have you back on soon. Hopefully right before you sign that WWE paperwork that we all know is coming within the near future and stuff. We can have you back on the show, all right?
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night, okay?
All right, take care. You all be blessed.
Bye. All right. So, Mika.
I can't even with him. He has a hate page. I just went to it. It really is real.
I mean, who in the world can hate Fred Yehi?
I know. I don't understand. It's great. He is a really good guy. It was just really cool to hear him speak and to kind of get to get his take on the match and just in general. I mean, you are correct. It's hard to meet positive people in life. And I know in this business, like you've been around for a while now, and you know that there are just tons of, you know, like you said, snaky, shady people. And to meet somebody who's genuinely real, nice, and just, you know, that's amazing. That's a rarity, and I love it. As much, you know, flack as I gave him for the whole ring thing, and the fact that I just followed the I Hate Fred Yehi page means nothing. I like Fred Yehi. He's amazing as a wrestler and as a person. I'm not going to play Connect 4 with him, but if I see him out and I can get my hands on it, I might, like, go Uno on him and, like, you know, be undefeated for 800 years.
Did you really just hate the I Hate Fred Yehi page? Or like
No, I did. He said it was his page.
Oh my God. How could you? Oh, Jesus. Like I said, this dude's amazing. Like I said, I've known Fred almost as long as he's been in the business. And the funny thing, and I hope Fred listens to this interview, like, I was supposed to work for BACW a couple years ago, and Fred never got back to me about that, which kind of hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? But after he hears this interview, hopefully Fred will go ahead and let me come down to work at BACW and stuff so I can get a match with Fred Yehi. Like, that'd be like the feather in my cap to say, you know, I actually survived the match with Fred Yehi at the age and the shape that I'm in right now.
That would be a feather, all right, because, you know, the guy, he's a beast in the ring. I mean, I've seen him go, and it is amazing. I remember my first time seeing him was at Evolve, and I was totally taken aback by his style, his intensity, and yeah, he might kill you. I like you. Don't die.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, Mika, what you got coming up this weekend?
Well, this weekend I was searching high and low. Not really. There's a whole lot of damn wrestling this weekend. So much, in fact, that I am going to. I'm flipping a coin. This weekend is PWX in North Carolina. They are doing the X16 tournament. It's a 2-day tournament, and a lot of names that we know, and a lot of talented folks out there will be competing. So I'm probably going to go to North Carolina for 2 nights of wrestling, and then yeah. I don't even know how I'm going to survive because it's a 4-hour drive back and forth. So
Quit crying. Look, if you do go there, I need you to get me a Juice Robinson t-shirt, okay? Size 2X.
If I go, I will let the Juice know that you want a shirt and try to hook it up.
Yeah, see if he has, like, I don't know, the Tai Chi shirt as well. He probably doesn't, but I'm just saying. Tai Chi is my joint. This weekend, I got a busy weekend. Talking about wrestling, there's wrestling literally everywhere this weekend. Friday night, I will be defending my AIWF World Heavyweight title for Mega Championship or Mega Pro Wrestling in Marmet, West Virginia. Saturday, I will be defending my title, the AIWF title, World Heavyweight title, once again. But this time I will be at Pure Pro Wrestling in Pelham, North Carolina. And then Sunday I will be defending my World Wrestling Grand Prix title at Firestar Pro Wrestling presents Zone 1. It's their monthly taping, their monthly, I guess, TV/YouTube taping. But I will be defending my World Wrestling Grand Prix title there. So, you know, whole bunch of wrestling all over the place. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't make it to any one of those, you know, four companies, which is 5 shows, be sure to, you know, go on social media and check out all the things that's indie wrestling up and down and around the world. Mika, before we leave, you gotta go out to social media and where they can listen to your beautiful voice when it's not on this podcast.
Oh my gosh, when I'm not speaking to you, the world still revolves and turns. Amazing, I know. But you guys can find me at Mika Villas on Facebook, on Twitter. I also am on the FOW Radio Network doing a podcast with the FOW, Friends of Wrestling. We are on right after this, as a matter of fact. So myself, along with Danny Danger and the Yellow Man Patrick, I also have Snapchat. If you are looking to snap me anything inappropriate, I'll give you Huckabee's Snapchat and let you send it to him instead. But yeah, that's all my social media, guys. Hit me up. Let's talk some wrestling.
Well, as usual, ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on Facebook, William Huckabee, Twitter at WA Huckabee, and on Instagram at William Huckabee. Also follow this podcast on Facebook, Wrestling Nerdcast, on Twitter at WNerdPod. And, like I said at the beginning of the show, we have a YouTube channel. Yay! Check us out, Wrestling Nerdcast. Check out our first interview live and on location with UIW Heavyweight Champion Adrian Armour. Make sure to like that page. Make sure to subscribe to that page. Make sure to tell your friends all about the goodness that is the Wrestling Nerdcast. Anything else, Mika?
No, I mean, lots of wrestling coming up. I mean, even on the network, there's some mixed match challenge. I might peep at that and see what's happening. Hey, listen, they did some craziness. They put Paige and Woods together. I mean, that alone is comedic value.
That might be worth the price of the show alone.
Exactly.
I'm only watching. I'm kind of disappointed that they don't have Ariel, teaming up with Cedric. But I can deal with, Enzo Amore and Nia Jax only because of Nia. Like, I could deal with those two. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is the show tonight. Be sure, once again, to check out our incredible sponsors, Indie Customs. Check them out on Facebook, Indie Customs, and Twitter at Indie Customs. Be sure to like their page. Be sure to also go and check out Pro Wrestling World on Facebook. Those are our friends. Those are our homies. They support this podcast, which means they support indie professional wrestling. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, the AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, the AIWF Mega Heavyweight Champion, the IWA North Carolina Champion, the World Wrestling Grand Prix Champion, the Mid-Atlantic Bully, the Morning Star, the Incredible Huck. And on behalf of my co-host, the lover of waffles, the voice of the speech impediment, the idolater of affection, Mrs. Hashtag What That Mouth Do, one half of the world's cutest commentary team, and also a co-host on FOW Wrestling, seen on or listened to every week on Podbean, my homie Mika Villas. For our producer, the one, the only C.W. Smith, we're saying thank you for listening to the show. Support indie wrestling, West Side.
Bye.
You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.